However, as I peeked through the tiny hole, I stiffened at the sight of two men gathering cash from a small safe in my closet. So, instinctively, the first thing that came to mind was getting out of the apartment. As I took a step back, ready to run for it, the floor suddenly creaked, and the two guys standing in the room were now facing me with eerie clown masks. For a brief moment, we just stared at each other, my feet unable to move. "What's wrong with me?" I asked myself. Then, I soon realized that fear was like an anchor that kept me in place. Moments later, the culprit said, "Run, you little sissy!" And suddenly, my feet were back in motion. In the tight spaces of my small apartment unit, I could hear the guys guffaw as they rushed to capture me, with one of them saying, "Don't let him get away!" I threw beer glasses and drenched the wooden panels with water, hoping they would get themselves injured and buy me some time to escape. But unfortunately, they were undeterred, quickly getting up. As I desperately tried to open the door, they cussed incessantly. So, locking myself in the bathroom was my best option. When I got in, I crouched next to the tub, where I quivered, fearing for my life. And unfortunately, my phone's battery had died, leaving me at a dead end. Later on, I heard a loud banging on the door, but since I hadn't seen their faces, I tried to convince them to go away by saying, "Look, I don't know who you guys are, but you can take the money and leave." However, to my horror, the banging didn't stop. In fact, it became much louder than before. Moments later, one of them successfully punctured a massive hole in the door with his head protruding. So, with his mask still on, he chortled and said, "Here's Johnny!" I could hear his partner still banging on the door until the only barrier I relied on unhinged itself and fell on the bathroom's tiled floor. Then, before I had any chance to defend myself, one of them grabbed my hair and hit my head on the porcelain tub, knocking me out cold. I didn't know how long I was unconscious for, but when I woke up, I had a blindfold over me, and the room smelled damp. As I lifted my head, one of them said, "Hey Bob, look! He's finally awake!" Then, he removed the blindfold in a split second, my eyes squinting at the light. Both my hands and feet were bound with metal chains and two locks, so I knew it would be difficult to make my escape. Moreover, even if I wanted to scream, it would be a futile attempt, due to having a tape over my mouth. As I surveyed the area, I could tell that I was in a basement with a window or a door as my only way out of here. A man stepped in front of me, wearing a black t-shirt, denim pants, and leather shoes. However, what was most striking about him were his dreadlocks hairstyle and the sinister presence he exuded. Well, look who we have here," Bob said, while slapping my face fondly. Please don't do this to me, please," I cried, begging for mercy. Then, Bob nodded to his accomplice, who pulled my head back and began waterboarding. No amount of words could describe the excruciating pain I was undergoing at the time. With a piece of cloth covering my face and breathing passages, a burning sensation spread across my immobilized body. "Okay, here's the deal," Bob spoke again. "Now, you took something from me, all right? And I don't like that very much. So if you could just tell me where it is." "Wait a minute, you got the wrong guy. I didn't steal from anyone." I was waterboarded again. Then Bob said, "Don't play dumb with me, you prick. Do you think I would let you live after what you've done? But I'm not the one you want. I swear you have to believe me." Both Bob and his accomplice looked at each other, seemingly puzzled. Next, they looked into my phone and wallet to confirm my identity. Then, to my surprise, Bob unlocked the chains and told me that I was free to go.